All right, KMR, we're hanging out at Mazdatrix. We happened to bring my show car from 2017-18, our SEMA project, out today. And it's a little dusty, it's a little dirty. I don't bring it out that often. And I know the channel's been a little slow. I've been super busy actually doing work and getting the race car ready. It's the off season, so I apologize, but I do have some upcoming videos on the hybrid Renesis. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the Mazda CX-30 hybrid rotary, actual hybrid rotary, that's in the works and coming out in Europe and then the US, because I think that's really cool. But in the meantime, we got KMR show car. This project we did with Mazdatrix. Big shout out to them. Rap Legends, BN Sports, Mastermind, Exity, and it debuted back at SEMA a few years ago, pre-COVID. And I'd love to get this thing out on the track. My intention was to not only make a show car, but also have something I could take back out road racing. And I know everybody would love to see me drift this, but I actually bought another FD3S chassis to build as a drift car. So that's a whole separate project we'll talk about in the near future. But we picked up some new work wheels, or at least new to me. We put those on recently. So fitment wise, we've been working on that. We cleaned up some of the body work. This is a newer wing setup than how the car debuted, a little more aggressive. And then we've been working on the engine bay as well, and interior, which has an LRB aluminum delete kit. I did have most of the OEM interior, but I liked the lightweight cleanliness of that kit. The engine bay, we went twin turbo 13B. Pretty big twins. I wanted to do something different. We were aiming for about 600 horsepower, nice reliable setup. Went with the CX lower intake manifold because it allowed me to stack more injectors in there. And then KMR half bridge on the build with E&J Apex seals. And an electric water pump just because it was going to be nice and clean for the packaging. I would definitely, if I was going to take this anywhere but to shows, I would definitely put filters on this bad boy, and I would probably want to bring in some fresh air. Having that radiator air, intercooler air, potentially get back and sucked into the intake is a no-no. So shout out to Nelson, Tuned by Nelson. Shout out to Haltech. Thank those guys. Shout out to Brave, everybody who helped back when we had it at SEMA. NRG, seats and belts, went with the carbon buckets. I like those, nice and comfy, hold me in there. And it's just a fun car. I've always loved the FD3S. It's such a classic, beautiful car. Mazda did an amazing job with the styling, the suspension, the weight balance. It's one of the reasons I did not put a more aggressive motor package in this car, since my intent was to do some road racing with it, even with the wild body work. I wanted the nice weight distribution that Mazda had intended, and I also wanted to keep it as lightweight as possible. Maybe in the near future, we'll get it on the dyno, extend the roll cage the rest of the way because it's just back halved, and hopefully dial in a few more things. Needs a shift boot. Shout out to Federal Tires for the new rubber on those big work Rezacs. I'm not even sure if I said that wheel name right, but that's what it looks like it says on there. And again, shout out to everybody, the team, family, who's all made this dream possible. I'm proud of this car. All right, so that's a wrap. We're gonna get back to work. I know you guys probably want to see other things than the show car, but since it was out, I couldn't resist videotaping it and talking about it. And then we'll get back to the normally scheduled projects, building rotaries, drift car stuff, getting that hybrid Renesis into something, talking about the exhaust, and we'll go from there. I've had a couple people ask about this wing setup. So it's a custom wing we did for the top half, kind of custom end plates, and we made custom risers to come off of a JDM sourced our Magic kind of factory bolt-on. It was an aftermarket wing setup that bolted into the factory location. And we just made kind of an aftermarket upper half, similar to what a lot of people have done in like the Raltwelt Porsches or classic Porsche race cars. So, all right, so that's a wrap. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go back to work. We gotta get this thing inside. Thanks for watching, KMR.